Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, first of all, how'd you come up with the name Super You?
About 3 years ago, my son Michael was so upset that he didn't fit into his superhero costumes. I told Michael, sit down, draw me a picture of what you want your superhero costume to look like. 15 minutes later, he came back with 3 combinations of costumes, and I said, great job, Super You.
There you go, Super You. Maureen, do we like the name?
In Connecticut, they started franchising in 2000. They now have over 300 stores nationwide, and we have 7 here on Long Island, and we have 4 coming soon.
Moses through the Coast Guard property out through what's called the Burma Road is not reliable.
We went along with the National Park Service rangers to check it out.
You can see right up where the tide came, right up to the toe of the dune.
All from Floyd.
All from Floyd. This is the start of it. Fire Island is nothing but a piece of sand that can be very easily washed away.
By early afternoon, the beachfront was deserted, and contractors were getting prepared for Floyd's blast.
To withstand a wet 2x4 being shot out of a cannon at 98 miles an hour, and when it impacts dead center, it bounces off, and all it does is leave a little indentation here.
So it should be able to withstand Floyd.
It should be able to withstand Floyd.
Are you evacuating?
No.
Why not?
I only did it once in 29 years. I'm not going to do it again. Unless, of course, it gets 155 miles an hour, then I will.
Had a great time.
It was my dream come true. I could not think of one thing that I would have done differently.
Hello, my name is Tom Licari. I'm an attorney from Islip. I've decided to run for supervisor of the town of Islip because I am tired of the injustices and the corruption that I've seen exist in this town for so many years. I am tired of the corruption that has led to the Roberto Clemente Park debacle. I am tired of the stealth tax increases that we have seen. I am tired of us spending millions of dollars to clean up a park that shouldn't have been polluted in the first place. It is time for a change. It is time to eliminate the old regime, to bring in some fresh faces, to bring honesty, justice, and integrity back into this town. Please vote on Tuesday, November 3rd, to make a difference, to make a change for all of us. Thank you.
Grace Wood knows you've got to be in it to win it. And even though the odds of her winning are slim, Wood bought 2 Powerball tickets in her first time playing.
I was watching the news earlier this week and I said, hey, why not?
Now tell us about your work and how you got involved.
I am the president of the Metro New York chapter of Concerns of Police Survivors. We're a national organization that supports all the families of fallen officers, including parents, siblings, adult children, co-workers, not just the widows and children that normally the departments.
And how long have you been doing it?
I have been involved in our chapter for 4 years. I have been the president for almost 1 full year.
Island was an interesting place to be this morning and this afternoon, and on the line with us now from Kismet in Fire Island, the westernmost community out there, is Sam Wood. He is the assistant fire chief. And Mr. Wood, how are things in your community?
Everything's pretty much calmed down now. It really didn't do too much damage. Lilco came through here about an hour ago, and they already put, there was about 10 houses out of power, and they already put the lines back up. So they moved on to the next community, and there was a tree came down over one of the streets, and we cut that up already.
My name is Gary Leone. This is the 7th car dealership that my wife has taken me to. Immediately upon walking into Saran Cadillac and I met Tony, we fell in love with him. We fell in love with this product. I've just come off a 3-year lease with Lexus, and I'm much more impressed with this vehicle and the service, and I hope to be a repeat customer and buy American.
Hop in that with yo, I got places to go. People to see, time is precious. I look at my Cartier out of control. Just like my mind where I'm going. The women, the shorties know nothing but clothes. No stopping at my Pirelli's on. Unlike my jewelry that's always on. I warm and some in my pockets keep telling me it's gonna shower. Call up my homies, it's on and popping the night cause it's meant to be ours. We keep a fadeaway shot cause we ballin' and spittin' up Patron every hour. Look mama, ow, you just like the flowers. Girl, you the truth with all that goody power. Cause you spin my head.
Long Island community that say a neighbor's pit bull was hurt and killed by their dogs. State and local laws don't provide a lot of protection for pet animals, so the neighbors needed another way to fight back.
We just want to have something done before someone does get hurt.
Residents on St. Mark's Lane and surrounding streets are on the lookout for a bandit. That's the pit bull that lives here. Bandit wasn't in his pen. We're not sure if it was him barking inside, but homeowners say he's been a holy terror in this neighborhood. Since moving here last January, Bandit attacked and killed a golden retriever at this home around the block.
We went to civil court 3 weeks ago. We won the case. My mother was awarded the damages for the injuries to the dog with veterinarian bills.
And pay $20,000 to have park personnel do the hunting. The offer was refused.
We could have had more than $20,000 raised if that's what he wanted. We just heard about this on Thursday. I've had over 250 signatures from Fire Island residents since Saturday.
I'm Cheryl, all the way from Sarasota, Florida, living it up in New York this semester. I just wanted to give a special shout out to all the interns I've met, Danny, Mark, and all my friends at the University of Florida. Woo!
Won't you give me a break? Somebody give me a break now.
Susan Welf lives in a small New York City apartment with a giant dog.
I always wanted a Mastiff. And part of the reason is because I grew up with Mastiffs. We had 7 kids, various Mastiffs. They're great family dogs. They're loyal and loving, and they're a lot of fun. Elvis was named for the only man I truly loved, Elvis Presley. It fits him perfectly. He's very handsome, he is quirky, and he likes to have a good time. And outside the apartment, he works the room. He walks down the street, kind of strutting.
While the hurricane hovers over the Atlantic, it's producing dangerous riptides that have many beaches closed to bathers. Also, huge waves are eating away at the coastline from North Carolina all the way up into New England. Correspondent Jacqueline Adams reports tonight on the growing problem of receding beaches.
Engineers are calling it a cruel joke.
Water is up underneath a lot of these homes here.
Hurricane Felix didn't come ashore, yet it still clawed at the beaches up and down the Atlantic coast.
It's scouring the beaches away. It's taking the sand out of the system and moving it down along the shorefront.
And that's all because of Felix.
That's correct.
So I go out and find the vet. The vet tells me a crazy story. The dog came just to have the toenails clipped, a little chihuahua, you know, Rhonda's emotional. Scott said, we'll be back for the dog tomorrow.
Welcome back. I'm Al Roker, and today I've got a special guest weather announcer back in the studio. It's their first day, but I'll be coaching them. So let's get back into the studio and see how the weather looks in your neck of the woods.
Thanks, Al. This is Pat Botts, and there's a warm front coming in. Expect lows in the 70s. Back to you, Al.
Now, that was kind of quick. Did you do the national overview?
No, just New York.
Well, you got to do the whole national report, okay?
Okay. Look for thunderstorms in the Midwest, but the West Coast, the West Coast will be sunny and warm.
Excellent pointing technique. Now,
would have it that Larry Cole started working at the Kismet Inn in 1958.
It hasn't changed that much. We still have a family clientele, many return customers, and generations of customers by now.
Larry met his wife Joyce here, and in 1975 they bought the place. You can still only get here by boat, bike, or foot. The seafood is from local waters, and many of the recipes are decades old, like the one for stuffed clams. The area's champion shucker, Stephen Quillis, is also the cook. He starts by sauteing onions in oil, butter, garlic, and oregano. Then in goes the clam juice.
Right now I'm just going to cook until it comes to a simmer, and then I'm going to go ahead and add the clams.
Once the chopped clams go in, the mixture is emptied into a bowl and mixed with breadcrumbs. It's cooled and later scooped into empty clam shells, and it's into the broiler. They come out piping hot like a summer day.
I love the family atmosphere that it has, and when you look around at the walls with all of the photographs and the fish, and everything has a history that goes with it.
Clinton attended the first Children's Congress of the Juvenile Diabetes Association. They're asking Congress to allocate more money for research. Samantha Mandel is the New York representative.
Some people think it is all fine, I seem normal, because I seem normal. But they are wrong, because insulin is not a cure. Even if I do everything right, like my finger pricks and shots, bad things can still happen.
With customers complaining in the restaurant, Gordon looks to the owner to...
Welcome to the Tonight Show on NBC, broadcasting from the NBC Experience at Rockefeller Plaza. I'm Jay Leno. We're all in for a real treat tonight. Sitting to my right, very distinguished guest. So, what can you tell us about yourself?
Well, Jay, I just finished shooting my third film with my favorite director.
Well, that is fascinating. Now, where are you from?
I was born in New York, but at this time I hit the big time and I moved to Hollywood.
Now, what brings you to the NBC Experience?
Well, Jay, I was visiting all my friends in New York City and the Big Apple.
Well, that is mighty special. Now, tell me, what's been the best part of your visit so far?
Well, besides seeing you, Jay, I asked to do a guest spot on Saturday Night Live.
Business is running a business. You got to think of the bottom line, but you also have to make sure that your product's a good product, and that's what we're always on top of. How many people do you have on it?
Frank Bolton is the George Steinbrenner of the Atlantic League, without all the George Steinbrenner stuff. Right. The owner and CEO of the Ducks, and the man who started the now 18 league 9 years ago. While he learned his baseball on sandlots as a kid, he learned his business acumen with over 20 years on Wall Street.
All the people that you see out here on our billboards are marketing partners. They're here for a reason. We want to make sure that they get value. This is not corporate welfare. They are out here with a marketing goal in mind, and we want to make sure that we deliver on our promise.
The promise.
It was in the car when we developed a series.
The bird is a witness. Okay, I have seen it all. For real? The bird is, you feel that the bird is a witness? Did you swear the bird in? Raise your right wing.
All have been sworn in, including the bird.
Now banning dancing in public spaces, specifically down in those subway platforms.
Well, at least in one particular instance they did. This couple you see here, 54 and 55 years old, they were arrested and detained for 23 hours for, yes, dancing. They were doing it, though, on a subway platform, and they, yes, were detained.
On fans at the world premiere of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Fire Island commodity #1.
They're shoveling up sand that came blasting in over the barriers last night, bagging it and using it to bolster their foundations. Next high tide is 2 p.m. And folks on Fire Island are hoping they can ride this storm out.
I live here and I'm not ready to evacuate. Not now. This is, you know, unless it intensifies. If that hurricane starts coming here, then you have to use some common sense.
As the weekend approaches, not too many are heeding advice to stay away. In they came this morning, biking, jogging, hiking onto this barrier beach, where the only vehicles you see are emergency ones. And the lemonade stand opened as usual.
Go away. What, does she have a response to that? Is she still there?
What's that?
Did the lady just leave?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. We should have kept that discussion.
She's back if you want her.
Yes. She heard you. Yes.
What would you like to know?
I'd like to know a response to what the gentleman said. The gentleman's a very effective spokesperson for the company, but obviously the people who live there are not satisfied with his explanation.
Right. So what do you want now?
Well, if I have to teach you how to be a reporter, Ollie, I'll do that later.
Why don't you do that later, Jim? I think the lady expressed herself, and you're not here, you're there. Is there any question you'd like me to ask her?
No, I'll give you lessons on how to become a reporter later.
I'll give you some lessons on how to be an editor, because I was your boss once.
Yeah, you were, and are no longer. How did that happen?
God damn it.
Here you go, sweetie.
I got something for your pretty ass.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow. $5. Thanks.
Buddy. Morning. My name is Barry Rosenblum, and I'm from Time Warner Cable. And as a former resident of Queens, I'm thrilled to be over at the High School for American Studies to introduce this program today. This is one of 10 programs that we've partnered with C-SPAN to do in the New York area this week. And this one's going to be a little bit different because the other programs have focused sort of on a star.
Well, I think Sessions is a racist and shouldn't be representing our country at all.
Development in Harlem today with the mayor's wife, Charlene McCray. The trip to the organization, which provides education and mental health services to thousands of New York City kids and their families, held special meaning for Her Highness, one of Kate's.
So this was a day to remember we have to take care of ourselves too. And that was really important, because if we can take care of ourselves and be happy, then we could make our families happy too.
That's all, folks.